I'm going to start with Stacey Z, then I'm going to do Tammie B, then Tina M. You guys are my last three. Yeah, so let's get started with Miss Stacey. Yeah, yes, yes. Apparently, the cards are a little jumpy jump today. I'm okay with that. Nope, it's this one. I just finished a couple other reads and they were kind of the same way. I find it interesting. It's also interesting, Stacey, that I feel like yours needs to be super even. Okay. Okay, well, your start of your 2025 starts off pretty intense. Are you ready? You have Hell, which is concealment. And then you literally have Lilith, which is hunger and animism and instinct. Two extremely empowering, like feminine power deities. That's a lot. Like that's a lot. You just come out swinging, didn't you? Then you have the freedom card on top of that. So let me say this. The first part of your 2025 is just, it's really funny. It's like feral Stacey, but calmer feral Stacey. Like that scary stalk you in the forest, you don't see me until I have completely eviscerated you type of feral Stacey. Like that's the beginning the beginning of your 2025. I'm gonna say really that this is probably the first 3-ish months. I have a feeling that winter is a mad alchemist time for you. Like, let me hide in the basement and do all the magic things and let no one see what I'm about to do. I also would not be surprised if this is a time when you're devouring every type of book you can find. And here's what's funny. I don't think you even know what you're looking for. You just know you're looking for something. I'm going to recommend read whatever you can. Read whatever you can. Get yourself like a Kindle. If you don't have a Kindle membership, you do it on your phone. I personally love Audible. I listen to books while I sleep. I listen to them throughout the day. I've almost always got a book going if I'm not on a live or whatever. But winter for you is going to be just devouring every bit of information that you can possibly seek out, that you can possibly get. This crazy hunger and instinct. And like I said, I don't even think you know what it is you're looking for yet. You're going to know it when you find it. And I have a feeling it's going to come in several tidbits from different books, like different lines, different things in movies, whatever. Just all these interesting little crazy tidbits. Let me turn that off because I hate that noise. It's going to provide you an interesting springboard when it comes to the rest of your 2025. Winter for you is 100% hibernation, learning, getting ready, like revving up the engine, getting ready for spring and summer. Like I really just like coursed my fingers there. I can't wait to see what this one is. Apparently we have a lot of feral Stacey because this is the Wrath card. The hell. Oh, okay. Not so bad. This is the Leper King. This is bravery. It's faith. It's self-discipline. It's action. Oh, okay. And then we have courage. Okay. This tells me that after this revving up of your engines, after all of this learning and getting everything stuffed into your brain and so on, you're going to go through a phase where spring is going to be your time of action. And I think that the reason you don't know what it is you're looking for in the winter when it comes to books and movies and stuff like that is because you've gone through this crazy level up. You've gone through this crazy level up in that I think you feel like this year has been a holding pattern for you. You know, in the game, what is it? I'm trying to remember. They play it in Squid Game, Red Light, Green Light. In the game Red Light, Green Light, where you're like stuck and then you have to run forward, and then you're stuck and then you have to run forward. That's how you feel that you've been this entire year. Either it's full stop or it's full speed. There's nothing in between for 2024. So your beginning of your 2025 is almost like a rest in a way, and a way for you to start gathering everything you need. When spring hits, and I really think that this is going to start about the 1st of April. When spring hits, you have a decision that you have to make. It's going to take a fuck ton of courage on your part to do this. I have a feeling that this is you starting down a new path, whether this is a complete career change, whether this is moving across the country, starting a business. Like, I really feel like this is something monetary. This is something financial, work, etc. And you are 100% going to have to make sure that you have this animism, this instinct, this hunger to move forward, because it's going to take a tremendous amount of courage for you to step out on that limb, step out on that path. That's where this wrath comes in, okay? I don't feel like this is like feral Stacey, you're just going to go and be screaming at everybody. I don't feel like that's it at all. What I feel like this wrath represents is the need for you to continually remind yourself how much less you've had things over the last couple of years. You're going to have a ton of self-discipline and a ton of faith in yourself that you can do this and have that courage. It's like in Indiana Jones, I think it is, I don't think it's not the Temple of Doom. It's the one where they're looking for the Holy Grail and they're in Hamunaptra and there is a chasm and there's supposed to be a bridge, but there's no bridge. And so there's supposed to be a bridge there. It says there is. So he throws some sand out there and sees that it's basically invisible. That's what you're fixing to step out on. You have to have a lot of faith that that bridge is there. You have to have a lot of courage to step out on that, even though you can't see the bottom. The wrath is what is going to push you forward. Every time you feel like, when you're in the middle of this spring and early summer aspect, every time that you feel like you can't do this, every time that you feel like you don't want to do this, every time that you start to falter in either your faith or your courage, your faith in yourself or your courage, you can do this. I want you to get mad. I want you to get mad. I want you to pull out this wrath, the thing that you've shoved way down in the very bottom pit of your stomach in there. I want you to get mad, because all of the stuff that you've been denied over the last few years, all of the opportunities, all of the raises, all of the new houses, all of the friendships, every single thing that the universe has denied you, I want you to get mad about it. And I want you to use that anger to push you forward. That wrath is something that's pent up in here and you have to let it out. And this is a healthy way to let it out. Take that wrath and transmute it into courage and bravery for you to move forward and make this change. Because then you have redemption. Of course you do. Of course you do. And then you have Hathor, which is charisma. This is culture. This is communication, meditation. I can't wait to see this one. And pleasure. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. anytime you feel like you are losing your faith in yourself to move forward, anytime you feel like you are losing your faith in this new venture, I want you to come back and I want you to listen to this. Because this redemption card, this communication card, this pleasure card right here that's representing your entire summer tells me that you can do it. It tells me that you will do it. And it tells me that you're not going to take no for an answer. It tells me that I have a ton of faith in you in moving forward with this, and you better have every bit of faith in you that I have. Because the redemption card right here tells me that whatever this is in the spring that you're stepping out to do, whether it's a career change, it's a new job, a new side gig, whatever it is that puts you in a state of financial security, this right here tells me that it's fucking successful. Not only is it successful, but it is something that is going to give you so much pleasure in moving forward. I think this is utterly phenomenal, and I think this is utterly fantastic. We're going to come back to this in just a minute. These 3 cards right here make me super fucking excited to see where you are going to be when summer hits, to see where you're going to be when fall hits. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this. So you have guilt. You have resurrection. You have the thinker, which is knowledge and introspection. And then you have new beginnings. Of course you do. So this guilt is going to be something you're going to have to fight. Because every time that we do something that in our gut has told us for a long time, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, and we don't, we put it off, and then we do, and things take off. We have to fight that guilt of, God, I should have done this sooner, like, shit. But when this guilt pops up, because it's gonna, I want you to remind yourself that everything happens when it's supposed to fucking happen. You having this reset, you having this winter to be able to learn and shove everything in your brain that you needed to do, you being able to really look at everything, you being able to see this particular line or listen to this particular thing in a movie or see this place or whatever, none of that would have happened until this time right here. Giving you the courage and the faith in yourself to pull that anger up and to transmute it into a fucking fantastic life. I love that the whole last part of your 2025, the first half is all you learning and getting ready for everything and then transmuting stuff you pushed down for so long, stepping out on that invisible bridge that's not there. The whole second half of your 2025 is redemption and resurrection and reinvention, new beginnings. It is you finally feeling happy, you finally having an amazing sense of security, you finally feeling like you are where you belong. Now, what's interesting about this is I feel like this also has to do with a person, okay? I feel like this redemption and this communication and so on also has to do with someone in your life. I don't know if this is something romantic or not. I do know it is something romantic. This could be, now I don't know because I don't have you to answer questions back and forth. This is the rekindling of something. So whether you're in a relationship now and it's kind of been like petering down a little bit, this is the rekindling of that relationship. It also could represent the rekindling of maybe someone that you crossed paths with a long time ago and it just wasn't the right time for either of you. And now it's time to rekindle that. You had to go through everything you went through in 2022 and 2023 to deal with your 2024 to move into this. Everything that has led up to the end of 2024 has prepared you to start learning and to start moving forward and to have the courage and the faith in you. Then the end of your 2025 looks like, it looks like the phoenix. It looks like you rising from the ashes. It looks like you have been concealed under these ashes on purpose. And now you're rising out of them, this fantastic, amazing, powerful bird. I kind of can't wait to see what your 2026 holds for you. I kind of can't wait to see what this venture is for your 2025. I can't wait to see what all of this resurrection and redemption is. I do want to say this because when I'm looking at these cards and I see the knowledge and instruction and reinvention, one thing I want you to do is to not stop this learning. Whether this is listening to audiobooks, whether this is reading, whether it's taking classes, whatever it is, do not for one moment in your 2025 stop learning. Because over here, this card, the Thinker, this is knowledge and reinvention. Okay? You have to have the knowledge you need for the reinvention and the resurrection over here. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. I want you to treat weird. That was supposed to be pause. I want you to treat, that was perfect timing too. I want you to treat that as part of this reinvention, as part of this new beginning. All of those people that you look up to in your life that seem to know their shit, whether it's with their job or whether it's with their relationship or just life or whatever, all of the creators that you follow, that they just seem to know things. They just seem to know everything. It's because of that knowledge. It's because they never stop learning. They never stop learning from people around them, from the things that they've gone through, from books, from movies, from classes. They never stop learning. You want to become that person that everybody looks at and goes, oh my God, Stacey knows her shit. Don't stop learning. 2025 is a complete and utter reset for you. It is leveling the playing field and it's adding different levels of the playing field for you to accomplish and climb. Everything that you want in 2025, everything that you've been manifesting, everything that would make Stacey's life absolutely fucking glorious is literally right here. But I want to reiterate the courage card and the bravery and self-discipline, because the only person that can make all of this happen is you. Nobody can do it for you. And if they do it for you, it's not yours. They did it for them. If you want these things, your self-discipline has to be through the roof. You have to be number one on the totem pole. You have to be number one in the race, and you can't be racing for anyone else. Okay? I also want to remind you that, you know, just like in an airplane, when the oxygen masks drop, you're supposed to put yours on first before you help anybody else. You can't help anybody else if you're on the floor. So, Stacey comes first in 2025. And you can do this. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. I also want to say that I'm proud of you. Whatever this manifestation is that you've been doing at the end of 2024, I think you've really hardcore started it in 2024. This is finally coming to fruition, and I think that you're going to start seeing it really quickly in 2025, and that's going to give you even more courage and power and movement to, well, fuel for movement. Let me say that. All right. Ms. Tammie B, you are next. That is 3 cards right there. Okay. Okay. It's a lot. Start off with Judgment, then Hope, Incompleteness, and Yearning, Healing, Graciousness, and Acceptance, and Adventures. So the first part of your 2025 is going to be a little hard. The first part of your 2025 is going to be a lot of personal work. It's going to be a lot of dealing with judgment. It's going to be a lot of shadow work. It's going to be a lot of healing. I'm going to say that when I look at these cards right here, what this really signifies to me is acknowledging some things that didn't go so right in 2024. We all have things that we're manifesting, that we are looking at, that we're doing, that we're attempting. And we all have things that happen and they're great and they go exactly like we wanted them to go. And then we have things that they didn't go. They didn't go. And so we have to take a look at all of the things that in 2024 didn't happen. Goals that we didn't hit, things that we didn't do. That's what winter is going to be for you. It's going to be a lot of judgment. Now, I don't think that this is judgment from other people. I think that this is self-judgment. And to be honest, sometimes that's worse than anything. So I am going to say every time that you start feeling like you are judging yourself too harshly with something, that's where this Adventures card comes in. Completely check out of that judgment zone. If you can, go somewhere, okay? I don't mean take some big, huge, expensive vacation. I mean, go to a new restaurant, go to a new park, go to a new library or museum you've never been to before. Go on a day trip, go dig rocks, just go for a hike. I almost said a hawk. Go for a hike. Do something that gets you out. Do something that gets you out into the world. Do something that is going to be an adventure, because it needs to be someplace that you've never gone before. There's a lot of healing and a lot of acceptance that has to go on with you in winter in this first part. And I think that some of it is old festering shit that's been kind of bubbling to the surface here lately. You are going to have to deal with it. I will say that while this sucks, these are things that you've pushed down for so long, and you've just been letting them fester and not dealing with them, not even acknowledging that they were there. If you don't deal with them now, I have a feeling it's going to cost you in 2025. So take the winter and just deal with this shit. Just deal with this shit, okay? One of my favorite things to do as far as getting rid of stuff is writing the shit down and then fucking burning it. Writing the shit down and watching it burn the fuck up. That's one of my favorite things to do. Even if it's just some little bitty tiny piece of paper and you burn it in one of your incense holders. That's one of my favorite things to do, and I'm going to highly, highly recommend that you do some of that. Deal with it, talk about it, work through it, write about it, whatever it is you need to do, and then burn it. and let it get the fuck out of your life. Because then you have seduction. And then you have commitment, acquisition, responsibility, and purification. I am also going to advise you that winter is going to be a good time to put a lot of work into you health-wise, okay? That seduction card right there tells me that there is an interesting energy that comes swinging in like Tarzan when spring hits. This is also a need. Spring cleaning is going to be a big thing for you this year. And that the purification aspect of it, you looking at all your responsibilities, you looking at, you know, do I really need to keep this thing I've had for 10 years? Did I really need that shit I bought last week? You're really going to be looking at material things and doing a mass purge of your space come spring. In the winter, it's a good time for you also to start just working on health, working on your meat sack. Now, I don't mean like set the New Year's resolution. You're going to go to the gym every day and you're going to eat better and you're going to drink all the water and you're going to do all this stuff. Like, don't do that, okay? We all know that that doesn't work. It works for like a week and then it doesn't work anymore. What I mean is this is going to be a good time for you to start eating healthier. This is going to be a good time for you to start doing either a new class, you know, whether it's Pilates or yoga or whatever. Even if it's just the free online classes, do that, okay? But challenge yourself to do this at least once a week, okay? The seduction aspect also tells me that there's some romantical things in that. And there is the opportunity for a relationship there in the spring. And it's going to be really unique in that I don't think you've experienced anything like this before. We've all done spring cleaning. We've all got rid of a lot of shit. But this is like a... That was weird. I had to pause for a minute. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if someone called or whatever, but my whole phone froze. That's fun. That's great. That's great. Okay. Anyway, this purification is going to be something super unique. Okay. You've never experienced anything like this before. Now I'm ready to see these 3 fucking cards. Okay. You have trust. You have respite, which is like a rest, preparation. Then you have resurrection. And then you have wonders. Okay. Your summer and fall is going to be... Let me start with summer. Your summer is going to be a trust fall, okay? It's going to be a rest. It's going to be a pause. It's almost a preparation phase, but not at the same time. It's almost like you're in some weird, interesting holding pattern. Like you've done all of this stuff, and now the universe is like, all right, I want you to rest for a little bit. I want you to calm. I want you to chill. And then we're going to start towards some crazy shit. Okay. So I feel like the majority of your summer is just going to be epic. It's just going to be, and when I say epic, I don't mean crazy. I mean, go on some little day trips, go on some little adventures, relax, enjoy things, learn, do some fun shit. Just enjoy your summer. Don't stress about pushing forward. Don't stress about any of this stuff, because whatever's coming here this Wonders card is really interesting because it's literally over trust, respite, and resurrection. Trusting that everything will work out. Trusting that everything will be okay. Having a bit of a rest in the summer to actually enjoy the summer is going to provide you the opportunities to see some of these wonders that are around you that you haven't ever got to experience. These wonders are going to be a resurrection. They are going to be you emerging from summer as a goddess. And I'm going to encourage you to take as many little adventures as you can this summer. Because even if it's just to a new McDonald's across town, you never know who it is you're going to see. You never know who you're going to come across. You never know. You just never know. So I'm going to encourage you to do as much as you can because all of these wonders are going to pop out. They are. The resurrection summer of rest is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. And I want you to think of it this way. Like, how do you feel when you have a day where you actually could just relax and not do anything? How do you feel after that? Are you ready to get up and like take on the world the next day? So what if you had an entire summer of just relaxation? Would you be ready to kick the world in the throat in the fall? Would you be ready to just build everything you needed to build? Because that's exactly what this summer is for you. You have guilt. You have fame, stagnation, and pride. And then you have community. I find it interesting that the guilt card came up again right here because it's come up in this particular spot a couple of times today, more than a couple of times today with these reads. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I've told everybody else that this has come up for. When you have this resurrection and you find your people and you, because this community card represents you either finding a new group of coworkers, a new group of friends, a new group of weird, awesome people that think just like you, whatever it is, this community card right here represents finally finding the place where you belong. The fame, the pride, I don't believe for one second that the stagnation is a thing because of all of this. This resurrection is going to put you in just the right place at just the right time. And you're going to be involved in a community where you actually feel like you matter more than just a warm body in a seat. Being recognized for all the things you know, being recognized for your expertise in a field, being recognized and having that little bit of fame of people know who you are because you know your shit, and the pride that goes along with that. The guilt underneath there will be, well, I wish that I had purged that shit sooner, or I wish that I had gone on that trip sooner, or I wish that I had done some healing sooner, or whatever. What I want you to remember, and what I've pointed out to literally everyone else, is that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. The other thing about this guilt that I want to remind you about is that you can't control the universe, no matter how much we might try. You can't control the universe. There's also going to be some guilt associated with all of the healing that you've done over here, and you feeling like if you had done that healing a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever, that you could have already been in this position of community here. But I want to remind you that without this healing, without this time of healing, without experiencing 2024 how you experienced it, and 23 and 22 and 21, without those experiences, you wouldn't have the tools that you need to heal from this shit. You also wouldn't have some of that shit to heal from, but you know what I'm saying? Basically, what I want you to remember over 2025 is that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. If you had the opportunity to travel the world, let's say at 18, and then you got that same opportunity to travel the world at 30, and then at 45, do you think you would get the same thing out of it when you were 18 that you'll get out of it when you're 45? Do you think that the 30-year-old you will gain the exact same knowledge that you did when you were 18, or that you will when you're 45? We see the world differently at every phase of what we're in. If all of this healing had happened a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, would you be where you are right now for all of this to happen? No. Would you have had the tools that you needed to do all of this healing, to do all of this purging, to have this amazing resurrection? No. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. That's a lot of faith in the universe. That's a lot of faith in whoever, whatever you believe in. But it's also a lot of faith in you, in Tammie. There's a lot to be said for that. And every time you start to feel guilty that you should have done this earlier, that earlier, whatever, I want you to stop and I want you to think about all of the things that you would have missed out on, the good and the bad, if you had done all of this last year, year before, whatever. Okay? Your 2023 is going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And I think that by fall, you're going to be someplace you never, ever expected to be in a really, really great way. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Ooh, let me take a picture of that before I pick them up. I forgot that there isn't one on that deck in that middle right there, because there had to be like 3 cards from the other one. All right, that means Miss Tina M is my last one on this video. Well, actually on my list. You are the last one, Miss Tina. All right, and apparently we're just gonna, throw cards because that's fine. That's cool. Only 2? Really? Felt like a lot more than 2. Felt like a lot more than 2. Weird. I hate that when I can't get my chair to move forward, bitches. You're welcome for that being on video. You're welcome. A lot of cards. A lot of 2s. Okay. Well, I felt the need to do that with this deck, but I did. 2 again. Woo! I don't know why this popped in my head, and I feel like I need to say this before your reading starts, but everyone has imposter syndrome. Everyone has imposter syndrome. We all feel it. It doesn't matter how long you've been in a field. It doesn't matter how much you know about a subject or how little you know about a subject. Everyone has imposter syndrome. Everyone. It pops up, it rears its head, it tells you that you don't know your shit, it tells you that you're not good enough, it tells you that, you know, why are these people listening to you? Everyone has it. I want you to remember that anytime you feel like you have imposter syndrome, and I want you to remember that every time you feel like someone is better than you. All right, Miss Tina. You start off with the loss card. Okay. Then you have set, which is ambition, narcissism, and short-sightedness. Are you fixing to walk away from a relationship, from a person? Because that's what I feel like. And then you have truth, justice, and duty. And then enlightenment and simplicity. Okay. So what this tells me is the first part of your 2025 is walking away from a very narcissistic person. And when I say walking away from a narcissistic relationship, this doesn't always have to be a significant other. This literally could be a parent. It could be a friend. It could be a boss. It could be a coworker. But the first part of your 2025 is walking away from this relationship. I have a feeling that this will probably be February, end of February, when this happens, because I think that a lot of things need to be shown to you before you are at the done phase. I think that you're almost there, but you just need that final straw. And I think that's not going to happen until probably February. With this person, when you cut off this relationship, you're going to have to cut off all communication. Like, you're going to have to block them on everything. You're going to have to not look back at all, because they are very, very short-sighted in what they do and how they do it and so on. They are in no way going to understand that you did this because you need to move forward and they need to move forward in their life. No matter how nicely you put it to them, no matter what they leave with, no matter what it is, they are never going to understand, because they're so short-sighted that all they're going to see is that you left them. You walked away from them, and they're going to take that as a huge slight to them. So you're going to have to cut them off completely, 100%. Because the other thing is, with this enlightenment and this simplicity, when you do cut this relationship off and you do block them on everything, so there's no communication, you're going to have this moment of zen where you're just like, you're going to be sitting there one night and you're going to realize that your phone isn't blowing up. You're not dealing with tons of drama, text messages, phone calls, etc. You're not having to walk on eggshells. You can go eat wherever the fuck you want to eat for whatever event, or even just in the evening. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do without having to answer 972 questions from this person. It's going to be this moment of enlightenment, and then it's going to be this massive need to simplify. If this is a relationship, if this is a romantic relationship, my advice is going to be, do not start looking for another one. Do not start looking for another one. And if this is a friendship, same thing. Sometimes even with cutting off a narcissistic parent, we start looking for another parental figure to fill that void too. Before I ever turn these other cards over, I'm going to advise, just enjoy the quiet for a little bit. Just enjoy the quiet for a little bit, because being by yourself and learning to like who you are by yourself is utterly fucking phenomenal. It's fantastic. Not enough people enjoy that. Not enough people learn how to be okay with being by themselves. I promise it's epic. Let me just say that. Going into spring. Let's look at going into spring. You have trickery. You have secrets, vigilance, and subterfuge. And then you have Abaddon, which is corruption, pestilence, and malice. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over too, because this card I felt like went in the middle. You have protection. And you have the exile, which is strategy, failure, and trauma. And then on top of it, you have purify. Purity, excuse me. Apparently 2025 is a year of purging for you. It is a year of purging for you. Getting rid of this relationship. This next aspect here in the spring with trickery, with pestilence and corruption and malice and secrets and vigilance and subterfuge. That's a lot of shit, dude. That's a lot of shit, Tina. Dude. Just looking at that makes my eyeballs hurt. I'm going to venture out on a limb here and say that you're really, really empathic. I'm going to venture out on a limb here and say that you have a ton of people that feed off of you in some way or another, and that you are a genuinely nice person and you have a problem saying no. I'm also going to venture out on a limb and say that you have people that are addicted to your energy. They're addicted to you. They're addicted to what you can do for them. They siphon everything they can off of you. And at the end of the day, you are completely and utterly drained. I would also bet you don't sleep very well because of that. Your spring is going to be... What I see in my head is you with fucking ninja swords just slicing cords like crazy, cutting all of these people off that have been doing nothing but tricking you, but working behind you in the shadows to undo stuff. Spring is kind of going to be a wonderful little baneful time for you. It's going to be a good time for you to do a fuck ton of cord cuttings, a fuck ton of baneful workings to all of those people that have done every single thing they can to fuck you over. Because on your side of things, this is not so much spring and summer. This is spring. And then on your side of things, you are completely protected. You are completely protected. There is going to be a lot of trauma that's brought up with cutting these people off that you will have to deal with. And that's where this purity card comes from. But there's going to be a lot of strategy in cutting these cords, because some of them do require you to cut off another relationship, to cut off a friend, to cut off a habit, whatever. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to do, that you're going to have to cut off. So spring is going to be really intense for you. And I think that it's going to kind of wane down into the summer and so on. But know that this is all an aspect. Don't think that it's not lost on me that the simplicity card is right there. And then purity is right here. Meaning that this whole next year is a fucking purge. I kind of can't wait to see these cards. We're going to turn them over and then go from there. This is the fate card. I shit you not. Fate card. Then the matriarch, which is opportunities, consequences. My favorite card in the entire deck. This is the Golden Empress. This is magnetism. This is literally bringing every single thing that you could possibly fucking want to you. Like, this is one of my favorite cards in the Mausolea deck. Because this one right here is confidence, it's power. Open this. Remember how I just said that 2025 is going to be a purge for you? You have simplicity, you have purity here, you have so much to get rid of at the beginning of the year, winter and spring, to obliterate, to get rid of, so you can start off on an amazing path. This is where I talk about the end of your year, fall especially. I think that going into 2026 is going to be a completely different Tina. I don't think that the Tina that's going to be going into 2026 is in any way like you right now. 2025 is going to be teaching you a crazy amount of self-reliance, of self-power, like self-empowerment, because these cards right here are all fantastic. All of them are fantastic. And knowing that you are extremely protected right here and you need to have a strategy to get rid of all of this shit, this is like cutting off a lifetime of trauma, of people that have fucked you over, and of all of the shit that has been piling up your entire fucking life. "2025 is going to be an amazing, epic year for you. This is your year." Now, I know you're like, wait, but there's a lot of loss and there's a lot of this and this. Yes. When we go through a year where there's a ton of loss, when we go through a year where we have to cut people off that have been fucking us over for a long time, that have been siphoning our energy, our money, our time, everything from us, and go through a purification and a simplicity of kicking these motherfuckers to the curb. That's what this opens up. Yes, you can stay in this situation. You can stay with these people in your life. You can let them continue to do whatever it is they are doing. You can let them continue to run you over. You can let them, you can be comfortable. You continue to be comfortable with the devil, you know. But here's the thing. And I'm just going to use myself as an example, okay? Because I'm an expert in that. I could have easily stayed in a marriage that was just comfortable. It was shitty. It was toxic. We were both miserable. My kids were miserable. I could have stayed. But I didn't. I finally got the fucking balls to leave, to walk away. And I had to go through this loss. I had to go through this purge. I found out very quickly who my friends were and who my friends weren't. I had to purify a lot of stuff. I had to simplify a lot of stuff. But when I look back now, even though there was a lot of things that I lost repeatedly, I see now that I was 100% fucking protected every step I took. And if I hadn't walked away from that, I would still be sitting in the same space, wasting away. I probably would have had a heart attack by now. Actually, literally. Or had a ton of seizures, like it would have been bad. And I walked into this. I finally accepted where fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it, was trying to put me. My life now and my life in 2018, I don't even know that person. I don't even recognize that person. It's so fucking different. I don't even recognize that person. That is how your 2025 is going to be. You're going to look back at the end of 2025 in the fall when all of these amazing opportunities and things just rushing into you and you being open to receiving all of these amazing things, you're going to stand in the middle of this as your life is rebuilding itself in an amazing, glorious golden marble and pearl castle. And you're going to look back at the beginning of 2025 and of 2024, and you're not going to recognize that Tina, because this Tina over here is powerful and magnetic, and every single thing that you want is coming your way. Whereas this Tina over here was stuck in all of these super toxic ass relationships and habits and so on. It is going to take a lot of loss to get rid of all of this stuff. It is. I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be hard. And there's going to be tears. And there's going to be anger. And there's going to be screaming and throwing shit, because that's sometimes just what we have to do to process. But your 2025, my friend, is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be fantastic. And this time next year, you're going to look back at all of this and you're going to wonder how the fuck you stayed in that situation for so long. And that's when I want you to remind yourself that everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Okay? Your 2025 is going to be fantastic, my friend. Okay? You just got to get through the hard shit first. It's like eating the shit on your plate that you don't like. Eat it first and then eat the shit that you do like last. Okay?